Hello, I'm Father Joe Gambala, and welcome to Journey Through Genesis. Today is Chapter 2, and Chapter 2 is entitled Sink or Swim. As we read from the first chapter of Genesis, God said, "Let the water teem with abundance of living creatures, and the earth let the birds fly beneath the dome of the sky." And so it happened. And God created great sea monsters and all kinds of swimming creatures on which the water teems. I'd like to say about 20 years ago or so, I decided to try something new. I decided to become a scuba diver. And a couple of young people in the parish, young guys, they were in college at the time. They said, "Hey, this sounds great. Can we join in with you?" And I said, "Sure." And we went to Great Lakes Diving Center in Utica, Michigan, and we signed up for the diving classes. Well, it was quite an education. After all, when one dives, one enters into a new universe, and one has to be prepared for it and know what one is doing. We learned all about pressure, learned all about proper breathing techniques, how to use a mask, how to set up a regulator, how to properly use the flippers, all the equipment that you need to go diving. And then we also learned a very important lesson. You never dive alone. You always go with at least one person, but the larger the group, the better it is, because there is safety in numbers. And I have found that from experience in diving that I was grateful I was with other people. So when I think about diving, I think about going into a brand new world, that I have to take my oxygen with me, that I have to be prepared, and I have to rely on other people to have a successful dive. Well, God did create the seas, and the seas aren't necessarily safe places, and when one enters it, one has to be prepared. Well, what's true in the sea is true in life in general. There are many things out there in the world that we live here on dry land that can be very dangerous to us, and we have to be prepared for it. And the biggest way we can be prepared for the challenges God gives us is not only for the challenges of we confront physically, but the challenges we confront spiritually. For our spirits are destined to live forever, and therefore we must take great care that we open those spirits to the love of God. So, as one prepares for diving, one prepares to live a Christian faith. One has to, of course, receive the sacraments, be prepared for those sacraments, and live out those sacraments. And then one does not do that alone. That's what the church is. You're a community of believers, a community of people together who learn how to work together and pray for each other and care for each other, especially when times are tough. Well, just a few days ago, I heard some beautiful stories from some of our teenagers who went to Steubenville. And they were all excited because they were with over 1,500 other teens alive with their faith. And they had wonderful stories of being edifying them and making new friendships and realizing that we're not alone in facing the challenges of this world. So when we open ourselves to God's grace and practice that faith, we prepare ourselves with the equipment. And the more we become active in our church and have friends that have the values that we do, then the more we will know that no matter what the world throws against us, we will never be alone.